I have not supported.
Let him speak.
I have to see what they're talking
Let him
about.
speak, let him
I have to
speak.
let them have
There's
the-
nothing to talk about. I don't belong in the park. You will support it. Let me finish, please. You will also support a shopping mall on the Mets parking lot, which will destroy all the small businesses on Northern Boulevard, Roosevelt Avenue, 108th Street, and downtown Flushing. Lest you claim allocation of money for the park, the record is clear. Practically everything you gave had nothing to do with the passive use urban parks are all about. Money for theater in the park, the Queens Museum, a huge swimming and ice skating building, while laudable elsewhere are structures that do not belong in the park. You should read the article written by Joseph Orvik in the Queens Chronicle edition of March 28, a copy of which I will leave with my statement, in which demonstrates nearly $7 million was bled from a trust fund set up to benefit the park, not structures, but the park, and used instead to maintain a $66.3 million swimming and ice skating facility that sucks over $2 million annually just for maintenance. I have been fighting for the integrity of this park for 30 years, and a walk through the park reveals woefully little has been done by your predecessors and you during the almost 12 years you've been in office. In 1895, Frederick Law Olmsted, the genius who created Central and Prospect Parks in this city and other important parks elsewhere, said, quote, "The survival of our park system requires the exclusion of management of real estate dealers and politicians," I repeat, politicians, "and that the first duty of our park trustees is to hand down from one generation to the next the treasure of scenery which the city has placed in their care," close quote. He did not mean it is okay to give away park property for baseball, soccer, or football or tennis stadiums, nor for a huge shopping mall, even if the recipients promise belatedly to donate some money for use of whatever is left in the park, and in terms of Flushing Meadows Corona Park, very little. It would still be an unwarranted alienation of parkland, and if you and the group of politicians who for years have not only failed to address the park's needs with tax dollars, but have alienated piece by piece support the USTA's application, it comes as no surprise. If Mr. Olmsted was still alive, I don't think he'd break bread with you. I would make one other point. I attended the Board 3. The chairperson who told you that if those conditions were met, they would approve it is nonsense. They would have turned it down no matter what. That was her unsolicited opinion and should not have any bearing. If it turns out I'm wrong about everything I said, I apologize.
You know, I wonder if I didn't do anything for the parks, and my predecessor didn't do anything for the parks, I would be at that microphone, all right? So we've enhanced it, we brought things to Queens, but never, I came here in 1957 from the Bronx. They had a lot of things in Corona Park, and I looked across the street, and because I could walk right across the street practically to get there. We don't want a barren park. We want a park that's meaningful and brings us wonderful things. Children getting tennis at this age, that's wonderful.